Hello, in this video I'll be showing you what a phishing email is and how to look out for them and what you can do about them as well. So first of all is, what is a phishing email? What is phishing? So a phishing attack is a scam email that is kind of aimed to phish information from a recipient by disguising themselves as a legitimate email. These are kind of aimed for information such as usernames, passwords, and bank details as well, and kind of anything around those sensitive areas. So these can come in all shapes and forms, such as emails or kind of text messages. So we'll be looking at emails for the purpose of this video. So here is an example email from what seems to be PayPal saying there is an issue with my account. And so the main things to look out in a phishing email is, first of all, is usually the email that it comes from. So of course it does say PayPal from the actual name. However, the email address says PayPal at notice-access-273.com. Now that is not an email domain that PayPal do use. A lot of these businesses, you can go to their website and you can find out what accounts they do send emails from, such as Google will only send you emails from their @Google domain. You won't receive any emails from Google from @Gmail domain, as that is a free email account that anyone can make instead. So first of all, here we've already established that the email isn't a legitimate PayPal email. So from here we can already discard the email, but there are a couple of things further down as well, such as where it says "Dear customer," we would expect to see "Dear," the person's name, your name really. As these businesses have very advanced systems, they can pull your name in and just drop your name in there. Whereas this is a phishing email, it's sent out to probably thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So they've just put "Dear customer" to try and catch as many fish as they can, essentially, hence the name phishing. As well as down here, we can also see the second title is "What the problems?" Now, I would like to believe that you wouldn't see any spelling mistakes from an email from PayPal. Of course, they probably go through lots of steps to make this email happen first. So there shouldn't be any spelling mistakes when you do receive any emails from people such as your bank or from PayPal and from any other kind of organizations. Moving on, one thing that can catch people out as well is emails on their phone. So when you're on your phone, across the top, you don't see the email by default. Despite in this screenshot here, where it says service@mail.crypto.com, which is just a cryptocurrency website, that is actually their display name rather than their email name. So I'll move on to that in a second as well. So one method of phishing emails is telling you that you've lost access, you can't do anything, such as this email here, where it says there may have been fraudulent activity, you can't do anything at the moment, please secure your account. Without taking the necessary precautions, crypto.com or your bank, for example, is not responsible for any losses. So already they've kind of put into a bit of a fear tactic that someone's trying to access your money and you need to take action quickly. So it also says there are a couple links here for you to sign into. So on your phone as well, you are unable to actually look at the full URL that the email has sent. So even though it does say crypto.com, that can just be the text hyperlink. The actual URL that's hidden underneath could be sending you to some phishing website where they will ask you for your username and password. You'll put it in thinking you're in the right place, and then it might actually forward you to your banking website as it's meant to, and then you just punch it in again and you think that nothing's actually happened, where in matter of fact, that first entry, that is you losing your email and password as well. So one thing you can do on phone is when you do have the email at the top, if we were to actually click on service@mail.crypto.com, we will see the actual email it's come from and also the email it's gone to. So the key thing here is that the email it's coming from, that is not a legitimate email in any way, shape or form. Whether this is from your banking or whether it's from another financial service or whether it's could be from quote unquote your boss or anyone else in your company. That is one thing that is always very common in phishing emails as well. Again, your boss's account could have been compromised, and so it might look legitimate anyway, but in the phishing sense, here is someone outside of my organization, someone I do not know, trying to access my details. Here we can see that they've sent it to msn@online.com, which I'm sure is a fairly legitimate working email, rather than to just me, which does kind of raise some alarms as well, that if my banking company was to send an email to me, they would send it directly to me and not probably BCC me in the email as shown here. So the main things to look out for are fake email domains, such as the ones we've seen previously, where they are just kind of nonsense email addresses, but the actual username can look legitimate, such as PayPal. Some other things to check as well are the spelling mistake ones, such as Microsoft.com is not an actual Microsoft.com domain account. However, at a quick glance, or if it's small on your mobile phone as well, that can look like at Microsoft.com and catch you out. The next one would be the kind of the spelling and the grammar mistakes as well. Like, would your bank really make a spelling mistake when they're asking you to go check your account? Or the ones such as we saw earlier for PayPal, are those organizations really the ones to make the spelling mistake when they're also asking you for your details or for you to go put in your details somewhere else? Generic greetings are also one of the things to look out for, such as we saw earlier. They kind of say dear customer or hello or just dear user. That's because they've probably been sent to thousands of people all at once rather than just you. Any large organization, whether that's Netflix or Google or anything else, they will have your name on the account already. They will most likely send you the email already greeting you directly. So you kind of already have that personal response with them. That's how they kind of get you in the first place and make you feel better for it. However, that is also a good indication of a phishing email as well. Some other things are the unexpected emails. Say if it's on a Friday afternoon and your boss is asking you to say, oh, can you quickly send over this payment to this company? When you're not actually sure if you've ever heard of this company before, or you're not too sure if this is kind of the right process, but it's a Friday afternoon, your boss is asking for it, and you go, okay, fine, I'll send it over. That is also one way of phishing emails to catch out when you are kind of already trusting your boss, but it's unexpected. You might kind of go with it, as well as the urgency. If your boss says, again, on a Friday afternoon, I really need this payment through by the end of the day, don't want to miss this. There'll be problems if this payment's missed. You might go, oh, okay, you're going to scramble to kind of get that payment done to make your boss happy. And that can be a method of attack as well. So it's just to be cautious of those and kind of always be vigilant when looking at any emails that don't feel just right. Do you expect it? Where have they come from? Is it all kind of seeming to be right? If a company is sending you an email to say to access your account, you can always just go out separately out of the email and just log into your account and always access any problems there. So how can you protect yourself from phishing emails? So you can prevent these attacks often by having multi-factor authentication enabled in all of your accounts. This is when you need to put in the PIN on the website or kind of on an app that your bank may require from you. Most banking apps already have this where you need to put in a number, and you can get this on all of your emails as well. So this is just an extra layer of security that even if someone does have your password, even if you have already gone past that stage and accidentally put in your password somewhere, then they would still need that second factor of authentication, such as your phone, to log into your account. So once you do then realize that you may have given your password out, you still have that slightly extra layer of security. So then you can then change all your passwords thereafter. Another thing is to make sure that you yourself are trained up on phishing emails. Just make sure you do look at resources such as this often and kind of make sure you are keeping up to date about how people do it, whether it's the fear tactics or the greed tactics or even the urgency tactics. Just make sure that you know what you're doing as well as your colleagues or your employees as well, and how to spot them. And then the last thing is to be vigilant on the points we said earlier about how to spot them in the first place. Make sure that you are always keeping them in mind when you are receiving emails and also when you are dealing with any sensitive information. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions on the previous video, or if you'd like to kind of have anyone to be trained or have any multi-factor authentication set up, then please contact us at prodriveit.co.uk, and our email and phone number are there as well. Thanks. Bye.